Today's first game is the UEFA Cup quarter-final second leg against AEK Athens. Now, I don't usually feature defeats in these videos, but we're also not in Europe that often, so why not feature it? Rangers led 3-0 from the first leg, but it was going to be a tough night in Athens with a hostile crowd cheering their team on to score this opening goal. They pushed on in the second half, with this really good run from midfield ending with a fine finish past Phil Parks. The comeback was complete when this free kick was headed into the net to make it 3-3 on aggregate in the 83rd minute. Crazy scenes in the homestands as the match went to penalties. McClintock, Masson, Hollins and Bowles all scored as Phil Parks saw this effort go wide to give us an advantage. Peter Eastoe stepped up to see his penalty saved and it went to sudden death. Don Given scored for Rangers, but it was up to Dave Webb to keep us in the tie, and his penalty was saved to see Rangers knocked out of Europe.
Here's Dawes. Tillery. Gregory making a purposeful break through the middle, and Faraday! Yes! Tillery. And Gregory caused plenty of confusion with his run, and it just ran on through to Faraday. One touch to control, and the second to loop it over Grew. Of this match, they have played, in fact, 5 more league games than Ipswich Town. And although they started the day with a 10-point gap, the 3 points for a win rather lessens the size of that. And here's Dawes, and Faraday with another chance. He scored again. 2 inside 2 minutes. And Frank Sibley was calling for more effort and commitment for his team after their disappointment at Coventry last week. He's certainly getting it from Faraday. And Wilson could do nothing with it. Faraday. And it's opened up for him. Oh! Chivers getting the better of Parkin. And this is Byrne against Cranston. There's no other cover, and Byrne has beaten him. But couldn't find the net, even though he beat them. Away by Fenwick, and Zondervan had to check, which allowed Faraday in behind him. It's 4 against 2. Gregory and Bannister. 3-0. And some relief for Gary Bannister, who hasn't scored since the Milk Cup tie here against Ipswich in January. Numbers forward. Faraday took it on from Gregory. And then Bannister kept it.
Another relegation battle for Coventry, this time at Loftus Road. But Q.P.R. grabbed the points and are now unbeaten in 6 games following this downward header from the revitalised Les Ferdinand. Ferdinand's recent goals, 6 in 5 matches, are providing much-needed relief for Don Howe's team and their loyal fans.
So Rangers with a great opportunity now as Ray Wilkins prepares to take the corner. Comes over, he turns it into Sinclair, and Sinclair comes off the post, and Simon Barker turns it in. Rangers are ahead. So Sheffield United really need to do something here. And Nathan Blake may have got clear of Steve Yates, and Nathan Blake has equalised for Sheffield United. A vital goal for them.
Gallen. Sinclair. That's Beckham. Here's Impey. Bruce in well. Holloway. Dicchio. Yes! Dicchio claims the goal, but there was a massive redeflection by Dennis Irwin. But it's a goal that's been coming since half-time. Dicchio had enough room and he had enough time to have a couple of touches. Great challenge by Bruce. Holloway tees him up, gets the ball in front of him. He beats Schmeichel, and it was off the head of Dennis Irwin as the United fullback tried to knock it clear. It's a Manchester United throw, and we're deep in stoppage time, and Robbie Hart looks long at his watch. Sharp. Bruce. Still gets it, Bruce. Strong enough to keep it. Here's Giggs. To the back post. Cantona! Unbelievable! Cantona has claimed the ball. It's 1-1. We're into a third minute of added on time, and Manchester United have got out of jail. And it's Cantona who delivers yet again. A heartbreak for Ray Wilkins. The points were priceless for him. They were priceless for Q.P.R. But what a role in that played by Steve Bruce, the captain, who scraps in the penalty area against Alan MacDonald to keep possession. And the match ends at 1-1. The point is good enough to put United top on goal difference. Rangers are left with just the 1 point and 7 games left to play.
It's a good cross. Clark Carlisle has scored! Excellent header by Clark Carlisle. We were just saying he hasn't scored this season. And there he goes. Great ball in by Kevin Gannon. Clark Carlisle rose and powered it back into the back of the net. Well, the gantry is shaking. Certainly got a few people excited. Well done by Paul Furlong, plays into Ken McLeod, and Ken McLeod is on here, on his left foot, drives it in low, it's Ken McLeod! Drives it in, 2-0 to Rangers. It all come about from Paul Furlong, fantastic ball out.
Well, everybody wanted me to let Gino take all of them, and he'd do well with a broken foot, wouldn't he? So what we've had to do is have a look at it, and again, all you do is you're spinning plates and juggling balls. That's all you are as a manager, and you're hoping that people are going to come back when you've lost some, because you always get injuries. You normally got 25% of your squad out, and what we've worked hard at is bringing players in, because we haven't had a big squad. All season we've worked our socks off to, as a staff, to actually bring in people that can help us. And what you've got to remember, we've got to bring in people who can help us win the league this year. You know, that's what we're after, and that's what the expectation level is. You know, I don't know if Wrexham's is that, but you know, Q.P.R's is, and you know, I've said all along, the people who pick up the baton of Q.P.R got to be able to run with it.
They're the sort of chances which may catch Q.P.R out this afternoon, and Steve McLaren, ex-Hull City player, will be wary of that. Here is Irvine again. Nice move here for the Tigers. Grzycki feeds it over now for Jarrod Bowen. Gets his shot in, and there it is. It's goal number 20. And he's done it against the side he got a brace against. 6 minutes gone, and Jarrod Bowen has wasted no time. 20 up for our number 20. Grzycki given time in the centre, and Bowen had space over on the right-hand side. And as we know, we've seen it so often, moving it in onto his preferred left foot. And Q.P.R now find themselves a goal down. 25 goals now in 10 league games at home for the Tigers. Q.P.R just inside the area. Kevin Stewart gets a little touch in. It's then lofted over, searching for Narky Wells, who brings it down, gets his shot in, and it hits the side netting. So Q.P.R trying to get a quick response in, 8 minutes gone. No general pattern really to how they got the ball inside, searching for Narky Wells, but he had to drift out to the left-hand side, which was going to make things difficult. Nigel Adkins asking the question of how many more strides does the Q.P.R. man want to take. Furlong with the ball in his hands. Eze. He stepped away from his man. There's a man over on the left here for Q.P.R. And they just hit it wide of the target. Jake Bidwell was the man moving forward from that full-back position and getting his shot in. Maybe if it had been Freeman, he would have been a little bit more accurate, but the full-back really getting into a good attacking position there. Kevin Stewart flying in, but not winning the ball, and now Q.P.R. with 5 men up here. On the left-hand side of the box with Eze, decent little low ball in, and then the shot comes in, but it is caught easily by Marshall. Just drying the ball as much as possible so he can get enough purchase to launch it in. Flick down, Eze could maybe get there if he's alert, but he certainly wasn't electrifying inside the penalty area, that's for sure. Hull can clear it away. Bowen over his head. Into the path of Stewart now. Q.P.R. return the ball, and now Irvine can play it to Grzycki. Tigers, of course, looking to play on the counter at all times, and Grzycki moves forward. He switches it over towards Bowen. Chest control, moves it inside. Bowen! That is a finish and a half from Jarrod Bowen. Absolutely fantastic. Another brace against the London club. A minute to go of normal time, and that was a bullet of a finish. 2-0 before the break. Campbell was caught, but the ball was certainly taken by the Q.P.R. man, despite the boos of the KCOM crowd. Here come Q.P.R. with 4 to aim at further afield for Scowen. It's worked in towards Narky Wells, and somehow it's found its way in. Everyone stopped and stared, and Q.P.R. have got a goal back. Narky Wells jogs away. Q.P.R.'s fans are delighted. But Josh Scowen, the number 11 here, firing it into the box. And did Narky Wells get a touch? Did he or didn't he? It doesn't look like he did. I think Scowen will get the pleasure of claiming that one. No change in direction in the ball. Marshall must have thought it was going wide because he didn't make a save. Fraser Campbell hasn't had too much of the ball in the last few minutes of this game, so you may feel he might be one change that Nigel Adkins decides to make. Q.P.R. have the ball now, very cheaply won back, and Narky Wells here tries to get the shot away. The Tigers defend it sufficiently enough, but a few words amongst each other here. Bidwell to deliver. In it comes. And the touch there is only kept out by Pugh on the line. And now Stewart can clear this away to safety, but Q.P.R. now starting to potentially really thump the door here for that equaliser. Bidwell here to deliver. Once again, testing times. In it comes. That's headed by Kevin Stewart. That'll just be nodded back by Scowen, and that will allow the Tigers to get some form of shape. They're staying very compact here, not trying to let the long ball come back towards them. It is launched forward. Is it going to stay in play here? Good running from Q.P.R. They've lofted it in as well. Is it going to be 2-2? Yes, it is! David Marshall protests in anger, but Q.P.R. have come back from 2 down in a very scrappy goal. 7 minutes left to go, and Q.P.R. have grabbed an equaliser, and it feels like Rotherham United all over again. 2-0 up at half-time, and the visitors have come back. Scowen doing enough to keep it in play, and it is the substitute who gets the touch necessary. The question is, what is Marshall protesting for? Has he protested the fact that it might have gone out of play? Tommy Ahmed also getting the final touch. In it came. And David Marshall appealing for handball in huge protest.